Alright, today we're going to be talking about some ethanol testing that can be done without any special equipment. Real simple to do, you can do it at home. The purpose of this lab is really just to show you guys how simple it can be, and there's no special equipment needed. This is something that's also really good to know, if you're in a dealership or if you're in some sort of shop environment where you might not have access to this equipment right now and you need to test a fuel quality sample because you have suspicion there could be poor fuel quality in a vehicle causing some sort of drivability concern. I've personally used this testing procedure multiple times and have been pretty successful with it. Safety, really just need a pair of safety goggles or chemistry goggles to keep the chemicals out of your eyes. Make sure you wash up when you're done, just don't want to get hurt. Materials needed. Here we've got a sample of E85, which is closest to us, the gasoline in the middle, a couple water bottles to mix our samples together with distilled water. You only need about an ounce of distilled water to 10 ounces of gasoline. We'll also use a Sharpie marker to mark the water line, and that will basically be our 0 point once the mixture is shaken up. Make sure you also have some caps on the bottles just so the bottles can be shaken. Here's a couple pictures of the ounce of water in each of the bottles and our line drawn. The bottom of the line indicates 1 ounce. Anything above the bottom of the line would be gasoline. Here we've got the two mixtures already shaken up and they've settled. You can see here that it's really hard to tell what's going on with the E85, and that's because there's so much ethanol in it that it's hard to distinguish what's actually going on, and that's why I showed you guys a sample of the unleaded where you can see it at the bottom that it's pretty clearly separated. I've actually had it where we had some sort of drivability concern going on, and this vehicle was not a flex fuel vehicle. We took a fuel sample, and the water line where it should have been almost looking like the one on the right was about halfway up the bottle, so we know we had some sort of fuel quality issue going on. Here we've got a picture of the regular unleaded. A little bit closer up we can see that above the blue line we definitely have some water, and that's about 10% ethanol, which is normal for a regular unleaded at the pump. Here's another shot of it just showing you the difference in colors between the two. Here we've got an E85 sample that was shaken up and starting to settle. If you look closely you can see some bubbles in the liquid. Look a little closer here, you can see where the bubbles end. Everything above that is gasoline, so almost everything there is ethanol, which makes sense. 85% ethanol, about 15% or less of gasoline. This works because, as we've learned in our chemistry class, that water and ethanol are miscible, meaning they mix together and we can get the two to separate. And since water is heavier, it's going to settle to the bottom with the ethanol. And we account for the water that was added by just using the line that we drew on the bottom of the bottle. Anything above that we can calculate. So that's basically a 0 point. And I will include a lab guide down below that will allow you guys to follow along and do this procedure. Real simple to do, and you can get results just like you saw here. Thank you. Here I'll show you this really quick if you'd like to see, in case you want to open it. This gives you the materials that are needed, procedure, a couple questions, some area to draw the illustration that you recorded. Here's the gasoline procedure, exact same thing, just draw what you see. Here's a little answer key I put together. Got a drawing. This here is using a little graduated cylinder. You can use a water bottle like I did. Something that's marked with levels might be a little easier. Here we show it with a cork in the top, so it's shaken up and it's starting to settle here. And that's about it. Any questions, feel free to ask them. Thank you.